Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Navigation. I deceived the world through the sky curtain. Li, who was struck by lightning in the world of the Sea King, awakened to the practice of the fake reality system. Only by engaging in activities to harvest the emotions of the local people of the Sea King can he summon. So in the world of the King of Navigation, there was an additional mastermind hidden behind the scenes. The Laughing Bat leads the Dark Knights to hunt down the red-headed pirates, and the Western Chu hegemon Xiang Kunlun destroys the Kingdom of Peace. The naval marshal is replaced by our king, and the most important thing, Taozhizhu, must die. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Advent to the World of the Sea King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brain storage area. Brain storage area. Brain storage area. Important things need to be said 3 times. The world of the Sailing King, in the year 1518 of the Gregorian calendar, features the protagonist, Straw Hat Boy Munchie. The year before Luffy set sail. In the first half of the Great Route, on a Taigu island called Dark Soul Island, it was still sunny, but suddenly a storm broke out. Boom boom. Thunder mixed with a storm swept across the entire island. Subsequently, accompanied by a thunderstorm, a lightning bolt fell out of thin air and coincidentally landed on a coastline of Dark Soul Island, then smashed into a huge deep pit. After the thunder, the wind suddenly rose, and then it began to storm. In the deep pit, a somewhat handsome boy suddenly woke up under the interference of heavy rain. TMD. What kind of weather? Why did it suddenly rain? Besides, wasn't I studying in the classroom? The boy muttered to himself, feeling a bit confused as he cursed. The teenager, named Li, is a fake anime plus homestead man. He has just turned 20 this year and is a sophomore. The reason why he is a pseudo-anime is that although he also likes anime, he is not as enthusiastic as others. At the same time, he has only a little knowledge of some things in the anime world. Last night, he stayed up late to catch up on the latest plot and was caught off guard by Luffy, who turned into the Sun God, and the plot was so hilarious. NND, the promised country boy, turned out to be a member of the D tribe. His mother was still a member of the previous god tribe, Lunalia, and he himself ate the fruit of Renren, the mythical beast species, and the form of the sun god Nika. A demonic fruit named after a god, and TND still retains Joey Poi's consciousness. How does our teacher Kai play with it? Stop fighting, just make 20 shots. 2 TND bullies people. What about the agreed adventure of the poor boy? In the end, he defeated Teacher Kai by relying on his own bloodline. The plot characters created in the early stage, whether they were the white beard of the pirates, Ace, or the 3 generals of the navy, which one was not a character with blood, flesh, and soul, ultimately turned into a brainless plot with bloodline and invincibility. At the beginning of the article, Hijigwa boasted about Teacher Kai, but the protagonist, a sun god, awakened and directly flew away with Teacher Kai. How will he continue to play in the future? Migrant workers die in a sea of flames, and even a hairless monkey cannot escape this route, right? In times of crisis, their bloodline awakens directly, and then they turn the tide against the wind. It's so simple. It's hard for Li not to doubt whether this passionate fan, which represents countless people's youth in the future, will just end up like HY. Staying up all night and the thunderous plot directly left Li feeling depressed the next day. So much so that he directly played chess with Zhou Gong in class and, in a daze, crossed over to this island. What kind of ghost place is this? I was kidnapped by someone. No, I'm just a poor student. Why did they kidnap me? Li picked up a stick from the ground and protected his chest, carefully looking around. Roar. Before waiting for Li to stand still for long, a terrifying roar suddenly rang out from behind him. Upon hearing this roar, Li En's face turned pale for an instant, and he trembled and turned his head to take a look. He was immediately scared out of his wits by the creature in front of him. That is an oversized cat, about 50 times the size of an ordinary cat. It has a king character on its forehead, 2 long, flat and curved upper canine teeth, and sharp blade ridges in the front and back. This cat also has a nice name. Saber-toothed tiger. Run. This was the only thought in Li's mind. He dropped the stick in his hand and ran straight towards a sturdy tree in the distance. Although he is not sure if he can run better than the saber-toothed tiger, it is better than waiting for death. The saber-toothed tiger behind Li En saw the 2-legged beast in front of him and fled, unable to help but let out an excited roar. The tiger's eyes were filled with cruel, bloodthirsty, and excited gazes. The 4 limbs exerted force together, and then burst out at a speed of 12 minutes and rushed towards Li's direction. The saber-toothed tiger can already imagine the scene of blood splattering everywhere when it uses its saber teeth to bite through the neck of this bipedal beast. Li doesn't know what the saber-toothed tiger is thinking. He's praying that his speed is fast enough, and then this saber-toothed tiger can't climb trees. Unfortunately, how could 2 legs possibly run faster than 4 legs? In less than a moment, the saber-toothed tiger caught up with Li and opened its bloodthirsty jaws, biting straight at Li's neck. Li can even smell the foul smell emanating from the mouth of the sword-toothed tiger. Ding! Welcome to the world of the Sea King. The practice fake to true system has started and is now automatically bound for you. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a life or death crisis, and automatically opened the beginner gift pack for you. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the prop. The Nika Ghost Ninja Mask. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the SR level character card. Ocean Disaster, Planck. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the props. The Abyss and the 50 sailors on board. Prop. Ninja Ghost Ninja Mask. Effect. It can summon the Ghost Ninja Squad that summons the Shadow Corps, and each Ghost Ninja Squad has the rank of Brigadier General of the Navy Headquarters. Introduction. A magical item from the world of Jackie Chan's adventures, soldiers of the Shadow Corps can transform into shadows and freely shuttle through any ground or wall. They move silently in the world of shadow space, and under the guidance of soldiers, summoners can rely on the Shadow Kingdom for space shuttle. Each shadow soldier has agile skills in martial arts, as well as the ability to transform weapons from shadows. Because oneself is transformed by shadows, and everyone has red eyes, there is never a need to eat or sleep. The Ghost Ninja Squad is the most basic type of the Shadow Corps, with fast and agile movements, excellent close-range combat abilities, and sometimes equipped with ninja weapons. Explanation. Who can refuse a group of loyal and obedient super nannies who are also very good at breaking into their own belongings? Character card. Ocean Disaster, Planck, SR, Effect. It can directly embody the peak period of Ocean Disaster, Planck, with a loyalty of 100%. The strength of Ocean Disaster, Planck is at the level of 3 major naval generals. At the same time, all abilities of Ocean Disaster, Planck will be synchronized after manifestation, and the characters that appear can continue to grow through cultivation. Skills. Blaze Interrogation, Gunfire Negotiation, Scurvy Therapy, Gunpowder Barrel, Cannon Screen Introduction. From the world of League of Legends, the continent of Valoran, the legendary hero of Bilgewater, the cunning and ruthless Ocean Disaster. Planck is the deposed pirate king, with a terrifying reputation that extends far and wide. He was once the ruler of the port city of Bilgewater. Although his authority is no longer there, people believe that it will only make him more terrifying. If Planck knew someone was going to snatch Bilgewater from his hands, he would surely have massacred the city. Now that he has a musket, a machete, and buckets of gunpowder, he is determined to reclaim what he has lost. Explanation. When I was causing a big fuss over the Texas Navy, you were still wearing open crotch pants. Don't provoke me props. The Abyss and 50 Sailors. Effect. It can directly summon the vehicle of Ocean Disaster, Planck, the Abyss, and the 50 sailors on the Abyss, each with the rank of Brigadier General of the Navy Headquarters. Introduction. A super magical warship from the world of League of Legends, the continent of Valoran, and Bilgewater, possessing magical powers and incredibly powerful firepower. It is also the vehicle of the Ocean Disaster, Planck. Prior to the Bilgewalt Flame Wave incident, the Abyss had always been a representative of the Ocean Disaster Planck. Although the Abyss was designed to be destroyed by Miss Doom, as a newly born Abyss that crawled back with Planck from hell, it possessed even more terrifying and powerful power than before. Explanation. Take a shower in the shell. Regardless of whether what happened earlier was auditory hallucination or not, come out and help. On Li shouted loudly as he raced along the way. As On Li's plea fell, an incredibly arrogant voice appeared in his ear. Bill Gilwater, your king has returned. Chapter 2. Realizing Fake Practices and Dividing Strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bang. Accompanied by a bullet firing out, the majestic saber-toothed tiger was instantly shot and turned into a corpse. Seeing the saber-toothed tiger easily killed by Planck, Li Anton's feet softened and he fell to the ground, panting heavily. Hey, master, I think your physique is a bit too fragile. I guess you can't even compare to the fisherman at the slaughterhouse. Looking at On Li sitting on the ground, Planck walked up to On Li and said somewhat humbly. Damn it, I'm just a college student who hasn't even killed a chicken. On Li couldn't help but disdain when he heard Planck's mockery. However, when he saw the saber-toothed tiger scattering its brain on the ground not far away, his face turned pale again, and he turned around and lay on the ground, constantly retching. Come on, master, just eat an orange. Although he looked down on Li's weak behavior, Planck kindly peeled an orange and handed it to On Li. Who wants this to be their own master? No matter how you cook, you have to kneel down and walk away. He wolfed himself an orange, and it was only then that On Li suppressed the feeling of nausea and vomiting. That, the system, are you still there? After tidying up his mood, On Li communicated with the system in his heart. I haven't eaten pork, haven't I seen pigs run? So many systematic articles, On Li didn't read them for nothing. I'm here. A pleasant mechanical sound echoed in my mind. Introduce yourself, On Li said in his heart. Practice the fake-to-true system, as long as the host has enough emotional fluctuation points, even the creator god, I can fabricate it for you. So awesome, where did I choose? And how did I get the emotional fluctuation point? On Li asked. At present, the world where the host is located is the Sea King world. The current location of the host is in the first half of the Great Voyage, near the Red Earth continent, on an ancient island called Dark Soul Island, in the North Sea. As for the emotional fluctuation points, the host can fabricate the plot and display it on the Skyscreen by this system. As long as the local people in the world of the Sailing King experience emotional fluctuations, the host can obtain the emotional fluctuation points. By doing things through live streaming, we can harvest the emotions of local people from around the world, and then make endless fakes come true. It's interesting, I like that, On Li rubbed his chin and said excitedly. The beginner gift package has been automatically opened for the host, and the host can view their own or their subordinates' property panels. Upon hearing the system prompt, On Li couldn't help but open his property panel. World. The King of Navigation character card. Ocean Disaster, Planck, SR, now available, props. Nika Ghost Ninja Mask, Abyss, and 50 Sailors. Emotional Fluctuation Point. 0. Seeing his ordinary panel, On Li could only say, 6. Later, On Li asked again, what level of existence this SR is. The system is also very face-saving, directly telling On Li about the specific division of power in this world. The character levels from high to low are UR, SSR, SR, SSS, SS, S, A, B, C, and D. Roger, the fourth Emperor, Admiral of the Navy, Cap, and the 5 old stars are all at the SSR level, while Joey Boy and IMM have reached the UR level, which is the ceiling of combat power in this world. The 3 major generals of the Navy and the world's largest swordsman, the Eagle Eye SR class, the Navy generals alternate, the 3 disasters, and the 4 generals are at the SSS level. The elite major general is at the SS level, the Navy major general is at the S level, and as for the 7 marshal Cs, the fluctuations are relatively large. Except for the Eagle Eye, the rest mostly fluctuate between SS and A, referring to you, Onion, Moria. As for B. level and below, they are basically some inexperienced pirates or naval lieutenant officers. Of course, one naval lieutenant should also be excluded, for example. Smoker Smog, who couldn't be defeated by anyone 2 years ago and 2 years later. This guy's combat power has always been a mystery. According to Ong Lee's estimation, it should fluctuate around level A. The supernovae of the generation of Straw Hat Luffy were generally around A. level when they first landed on the Shampoo Islands. Otherwise, the Straw Hat team would not be able to beat Old Shah and Moria. According to the system, if Planck can integrate the 3 colors of dominance, his strength will reach the SSR level, which is the level of the 4th Emperor, Navy Marshal, and 5 old stars. As for our protagonist, Pirate, Wang Lufei, taking him as an example, his strength should have been C when he first appeared. By the time he defeated Lao Sha and Molia, his strength had already grown to A. During the Justice Island and Top War, his strength had already reached S. 2 years after the Top War, his strength has reached SS level. He caused a great uproar in the world, and when he first faced Teacher Kai in the Land of Harmony, his strength was at the SSS level. After learning from Teacher Kai, his strength was at the SR level. When his fruit awakened, his strength had already caught up with Kai Duo and entered the SSR. According to the system, when Luffy successfully ascends the throne of Shanghai Thief King, his strength will enter the ceiling of this world. UR level, only 2 individuals, Joey Boy and Ian, have achieved it in the past 800 years. After all, this is the ceiling of the world's combat power. Opening the beginner's treasure chest, he successfully drew SR Planck, who had the strength of a great general. Ong Lee felt that his luck could go and buy lottery tickets. Master, what are you giggling about? Planck looked at Ong Lee and couldn't help but shake his hand vigorously in front of him. On the side, I'm thinking about how to write the script and add a few brothers to you, said Ong Lee, patting Planck's big hand. Master, I feel like you're taking advantage of me, and I have evidence, Planck said to Ong Lee. After speaking, he looked around and asked, where is this place where birds don't poop? You don't need to call me Master, just call me Boss, Ong Lee said. Good boss, Planck nodded obediently. This is another world, let me tell you. So, Ong Lee began to tell Planck about this world intermittently. This lecture lasts for only half a month. On this day, Ong Lee and Planck surrounded the campfire, enjoying a natural barbecue feast. Beside them, a group of soldiers from the Ghost Ninja Squad were busy. In the mid-air of the island, there hangs a huge black screen. This is the first time I've heard of such a world, a chaotic world where I take pride in being a pirate at sea. It's really interesting, said Planck as he gnawed on his super big ham. Speaking of Planck, how are you doing with your dual-color domineering cultivation? Ong Lee asked as he spat out the bone in his mouth. A week ago, Ong Lee placed a large screen on all the islands in the world, directly harvesting a wave of emotional fluctuations. Now all these emotional fluctuations have been exchanged by him for the tricolor dominant cultivation manual, and then he gave it to Planck. On the eve of the plot of the Sea King, the devil fruit is the representative of the world's strength, but in the later plot, the tricolor dominance, the 6th successful thief, becomes the standard configuration of the strong. Whether it's armed or domineering, they are abilities that only the world's top leaders possess. This TND thing is much more useful than rune magic, and it should be the weapon color hardening mentioned in the book, Planck said while demonstrating to Li. In the next moment, Planck's right hand, which clenched his fist, turned pitch black. Li tried to strike with the ghost ninja's samurai sword, but it broke and Planck's hand didn't even scratch. Seeing this situation, Li can only take a single 6. Armor color hardening is just the simplest way to get started, and on top of it, there are various uses of armed color dominance, such as wrapping, external release, internal destruction, and so on. Li threw away the broken samurai sword and then spoke up. I think I will soon be able to master the So. Called for emperors you mentioned when I confront you, said Planck. Since that's the case, our plan is about to start, Li said as he took a script from a nearby ghost ninja soldier with the words, for emperors. Ocean disaster Planck, printed on it. It's time for Laozi to become famous, Planck said, throwing away the bone in his hand. Do you have confidence? Li glanced at Planck and said. Laozi is the ocean disaster Planck, what's there to be afraid of? Planck said confidently. Since that's the case, let's start. Li said, with an inexplicable smile flashing in his eyes. Chapter 3. Skyscreen launch, lively chat groups. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Marinfando, Naval Headquarters. This is the headquarters of the world government's direct navy and is considered a symbol of peace during the pirates' era. Due to the fact that the Top War incident did not occur, the current Navy Marshal is still the Buddha Warring States. Marshal of the Warring States period, still in contact with the officers of various naval branches in the four seas, they all reported and could see the pitch-black screen in the sky. A naval lieutenant with green curly hair, sunglasses, thick lips, wearing a white-blue striped shirt and a navy cloak, was reporting his work to the Warring States period. This person is none other than the meeting king, Branu, as Hemi calls it. During the Warring States period, he took off his reading glasses and rubbed his temples with a headache. He originally thought that the screen hanging in the air of Malinfandi was a prank played by a demon fruit-capable person, but now it seems that things are even worse than he thought. Those screens are suspended in mid-air, and any attack on them is immediately ineffective, not to mention destroyed, they cannot even be touched. It's not easy to be a marshal during the Warring States period. Indeed, it was a wise choice for me not to be promoted. Only his good friend, the father of the leader of the Revolutionary Army, the grandfather of the future pirate king, and the legendary naval lieutenant named Iron Fist Munch, who dared to mock the naval marshal in person, were his close friends Capt. Bastard Kapu, you're stealing my fairy shell again. Watching Kapu picking his nose and stealing his own fairy shell, the Warring States period was filled with anger. Those were all bought by him with money, and as a result, they all went into the dog's belly of Cap. Just as the Warring States period was about to say something, a voice suddenly rang out in his mind. The spoilers sky curtain opens, and the first future spoilers will be launched in half an hour, inviting personnel. Pirate King, Roger joins the group chat. Sea Overlord Lox Jibek joins the group chat. Red Dog Sakaski joins the group chat. Smoker Smog joins the group chat. The god of scientific defense, Jagalucia Satan Saint, joined the group chat. A series of voices echoed in everyone's minds in the world of One Piece, directly causing Li to harvest a large wave of emotional fluctuations once again. Pirate King, Roger, SSR. What the hell is this? Did I stay in the underworld for too long and hallucinate? Sea Overlord Lox Jibek, SSR. Roger, come out and die for me, you bastard. Roger. Please, Lox, we're all dead now, okay? I'm already in the underworld now. The Warring States period, SSR, of Buddha. Roger, aren't you all dead? What is this situation? Is it my illusion? Iron Fist, Munch.D. Cap, SSR. One person may be an illusion, but two people are not necessarily the same. In the Warring States period, I can also see it. Rocks. Warring States, Cap, it turns out that you two are old and persistent ghosts. Have you all died and come to accompany me? Just being idle and bored, come out and get beaten. Carp. Get out of here, I'm living well and haven't passed away yet. SRSS, the Golden Lion. I really miss it, Captain, and the bastard Roger. Rocks. You traitor, since you're here, aren't everyone else there too? Newgate, Lingling, Keto, John, they all came out to be beaten by me. Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, SSR. Gullah, Captain, it's been a long time since we last met. Bigmum, Charlotte Lingling, SSR. Mama, I don't know how many years they've been dead, what kind of captain are they called? SSR. Wurororo, Lingling is right. Garbage from the old era should be left in the garbage dump. Rocks. A group of traitors. I curse that you will all go to hell sooner or later to accompany me. Kai Duo. No need for you to worry. I'm in good health now, and my food is delicious. I can still live for hundreds of years. Lingling, +1. Rocks. Animals, a group of animals. Roger. Alright, Rocks, they're all quite old and still so angry. Rocks. Get out of here too, I get annoyed when I see your silly face. Yellow Ape Polyusolino, SSRSR. Speaking of which place is this, how did so many legendary pirates and pirate kings appear? It's really scary, Red Dog, Sakaski, SR. It's just a group of lonely ghosts and a group of scum on the sea. Just stay in hell and the new world honestly, how can you die and still be restless? Warring States. Enough, Sakaski, are you trying to provoke the anger of 4 emperors at the same time? Sakaski. Red-haired Shanks, SSR. This should be a special space connecting the underworld and reality, where everyone can communicate and exchange ideas. Roger. Oh, it's Shanks. Are you okay now? Where is Bucky? Where is he? Shanks. Captain, I am now the 4th Emperor of the New World, and as for Bucky, I haven't seen him for a long time. The Joker, Bucky, SRB. Captain, I'm here. Seeing Roger summoning himself, Bucky couldn't hide and could only show up to greet Roger. Donghai, Orange Town. Seeing the Pirate King summoning his own captain, Bucky's younger brothers couldn't believe it. They never expected that their unreliable captain would actually be the Pirate King's crew. For a moment, everyone's gaze at Bucky changed slightly. Marinfando, Naval Headquarters. The Warring States period had long called his other comrade in arms, Big Staff Officer, to his office. Upon hearing Roger and Bucky's conversation, the 3 of them were immediately surprised. They never expected that the little pirate living in the East China Sea would actually be a crew member of the Pirate King. Moreover, depending on the situation, the other party has a strong relationship with the red hair of one of the 4 emperors. Looking at Bucky's bounty on the table, with a sum of 15 million Bailey, all 3 people present were somewhat bewildered. Rocks. Speaking of which place is this, it's impossible for us to just sit here and talk nonsense. Roger. By the way, have you noticed the UR and SSR after our name? What does that mean? Ocean Disaster, Planck, SR. What's so strange about this? It's a card game from my hometown, which represents the rarity of cards. In this space, it's estimated that the appearance represents each other's strength. Kai Duo. So, based on this, we all have a clear view of our strength. Planck. It's similar, but I never expected that I would be SR level. Shiki. What, is this level very strong? Planck. Generally average, ranking 3rd in the world, which is the rank of naval general. Upon hearing the first half of Planck's story, everyone breathed a sigh of relief, but upon hearing that he was on par with a naval admiral in the second half, the people of One Piece world were stunned. This TND is still average. Do you have any misunderstandings about the three major generals of the Navy? That's the strongest batch in this ocean, you can't believe it's average. Rocks. By the way, are you guys intentionally bragging? Planck. You are, SSR, SR, SSS, SS, S, A, B, C, D, anyway, the card game levels in my hometown are divided according to this. Also, as someone in my 30s, what are the benefits of deceiving you lonely ghosts? Planck's words immediately silenced the people of the One Piece world, although not fully believed, but also half doubted. After all, it's a bit unbelievable that a person who comes out of a mountain ditch has the power of a great general. Then, everyone eagerly began to verify their level of strength. Some people are happy while others are worried, some are surprised by their own level of strength, while others cannot believe that their strength is just that, old Shah, Moria, and Kid. It's better if you're not talking about me. Chapter 4. How many future 4 emperors have changed? You are listening at novelfull.audio. All prohibitions. The first future spoiler is about to begin, during which questions will be generated irregularly. Those who successfully answer for the first time will receive a reward. Rewards include ancient artifacts, historical texts, special bloodlines, great treasures, demon fruits, tricolor domineering power enhancement scrolls, rejuvenation potions, ancient divine beasts, rare skills, and resurrection coins. What? As soon as this statement was made, everyone couldn't sit still, especially those in the underworld. Is the resurrection coin the one they thought of? People in the real world have noticed the big secret, isn't the Navy saying it's a scam? Due to the future Navy engaging in a wrong war under the command of the world government's 5 old stars, the world situation has become increasingly chaotic. In addition, with the emergence of a super-ancient civilization, the powerful forces of the hidden world cannot resist and emerge one after another. This video mainly tells the story of the future trendsetters, their past, some of their future, and plays some key battles. Prohibition lifted. Rocks. Hahaha, a group of officials who only know how to work in the office actually commanded their lackeys to fight, and even lost the TND battle. Sure gee. How should we evaluate it well? It can only be said that it is a true detoxification of TND. Kato. Wurororo, a war that will overturn the world order is really exciting. Planck. I'm really not afraid of opponents like gods, I'm just afraid of teammates like pigs. The Navy is exhausted, and naturally the happiest are pirates. One by one, they directly activated the mockery mode, constantly stabbing at the Navy. Sitting in the office in the Warring States period, he remained silent, but it was not difficult to see from his gloomy expression that he also held a fire in his heart. The wrong command of the world government led to a wrong war, and at that time, the commander of the war was not him, right? CP9 Chief Spandam-D. A group of lowly people who dare to mock the 5 old star adults. You are really bold. As soon as this statement was made, the mockery was so overwhelming that it made the chat group quiet for a few minutes. Planck. When can insects also come out to talk? Kai Duo. Insect, do you want to experience the anger of a 4th emperor? Rocks. AD.level trash who dares to speak up and mock us, do you really don't want to live anymore? Lingling. Mama, I remember you. Remember to wash your neck clean and wait for me to come and pick it up. Faced with the threat from the pirate side, Spandam was immediately scared to pee. Oh my goodness, he didn't get a chance to flatter, but instead offended a group of big shots, which was too embarrassing. All staff are prohibited from speaking. First question. How many of the 4 emperors who once occupied the New World have been replaced 2 years later? Prohibition lifted. 10-minute time limit, start answering. Rocks. No, the problem came so quickly. Roger. What is the fourth emperor? Shanks. They are the four great pirates who occupy the latter half of the Great Voyage, and are revered as the four emperors because they have divided up the New World. Roger. I remember Shanks, you were also the fourth emperor, right? You're really amazing. Rocks. Che, it's just a passing game. What's the big deal? How could it have the authority of lousy back then? Planck. I'll answer, 4 places. Since you want to change, you can change all of them. Shiki. I said your kid is a bit impatient. Don't you wait any longer. Planck. Anyway, if you answer wrong, there won't be any punishment. If you don't grab an answer quickly, you won't be able to catch up with the hot food. Don Quixote de Flamenco, SSS. I answer, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Detected someone maliciously answering the question, activated punishment, banned for 1 hour. If there is a next time, the ban will be permanent. Domingo was banned from speaking for an hour. The Kingdom of Dressrosa in the New World. Sitting in the palace of King's Highland, Doflamingo's face was somewhat gloomy. He had just tried to say a few words, but was initially prompted to refrain from speaking. Marinfando, Naval Headquarters. Cap looked disdainfully at the Warring States period as he deleted his own answers. I answered, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I just said, opportunism is not advisable, this old guy just doesn't believe it. Carp. I answer, 1. Cap. Don't be fooled by the Navy, everyone hurry up and answer. Green Pheasant, Kuzan, SR. Yes, Mr. Cap. I choose 2. Seeing the Navy taking action, the pirate side couldn't hold back and began to respond quickly. Time is up, the quiz is over. All staff are prohibited from speaking now. We will reveal the correct answer for everyone with the start of the ban on all performances. The originally pitch black screen gradually took on a human figure. Firstly, in the first paragraph, Charlotte Lingling's 800-pound body lies flat on the ground, and behind her lies the vast majority of the world destroyed. And in front of her, a figure stood arrogantly. In the second paragraph, this time a panoramic view is given, where red-haired Shanks holds the supreme sharp sword Griffin, which is cut in 2 and half kneels in front of someone, staring at them with a face full of hatred. Behind Shanks, members of the red-headed pirates were either beheaded, nailed to the ground, or even cut into human sticks. In the third paragraph, on the flagship of the White Beard, the Moby-Dick, Marco and others, known as the Undead Bird, stood below a person shrouded in darkness, but the figure of Edward Newgate, known as the White Beard, was nowhere to be seen. It was obvious that the other person had become the new captain. In the fourth paragraph, Kaido is facing a person with a huge wound on his abdomen. Behind the two of them, a group of soldiers wearing strange armor are constantly driving the crew of the beast pirates into the sea, including the warriors and residents of the Kingdom of Wa. In the end, the 4 people on the screen appeared simultaneously in the same newspaper, named, "The Old Emperor Falls, the New Emperor is Coronated." Congratulations to the new 4th Emperor of the New World. Unfortunately, all the new 4th Emperor on the screen were hidden in the darkness, and no one could see his face. The ban is over, Kai Duo. Fake, this damn thing. How could I possibly be defeated by an unknown person? Lingling. Mama, don't let me know who destroyed my country, otherwise I will definitely break you into pieces. The Immortal Bird, Marco, SSS. It's fake, how could Dad fail? God Gun, Ben Beckman, SR. I also looked confused. How could I be okay? I was actually beheaded by someone. Fire Fist, Portkas D. Ace, SS. Who was it? Who killed Dad on Earth? Warring States period. All 4 emperors were replaced. What exactly happened in the future? Planck. The 4 emperors have replaced 4, it seems that Laozi's answer is correct. Congratulations on Planck's correct answer this round. Reward special ability. Hellfire, Hellfire. A special power from hell that can be used to gain the power of an evil spirit knight. On the dark island, Li couldn't help but laugh as he looked at Planck, whose whole body was engulfed in flames and only a skeleton was left. Good things are naturally meant for oneself. Just now, during the harvest, Li naturally didn't hesitate to exchange Planck's abilities for Marvel Evil Knights. Prop. Hellfire. Effect. It can be directly used by characters, and after use, the opponent can obtain all the abilities of the evil spirit knight. Introduction. From Marvel Universe, he signed a contract with the devil Mephisto to obtain Hellfire. Under the influence of supernatural magic, the deep flames of hell will directly cover the entire body of the evil spirit knight, and after the blood and flesh are burned, they will transform into the form of Hellfire. If you don't wear clothes, adding a skeleton and a ball of fire won't show your figure, but if you wear clothes, you can present some of the figure in human form, and it's better than the host's figure in human form. The fire of hell can burn any substance according to the will of the evil spirit knight himself, or do not harm anything that the evil spirit knight comes into contact with. Explanation. Sinner, look into my eyes. Rocks. Is that kid named Planck telling the truth? Ocean disaster, Planck, SSR. Wait a moment, I seem to have discovered something fun. Wait for me. Planck uploaded a photo. Planck uploaded a photo, Planck. Alright, let me show you my newly acquired abilities. The first photo shows Planck transforming into an evil knight. The second photo is the result of Planck firing a shot into the distant sea using Hellfire. A large amount of seawater has been evaporated, and a funnel-shaped deep pit with a diameter of 50 kilometers and a height of over 100 meters has appeared on the sea surface. The seawater is constantly being backfilled. Chapter 5. Burned or Burned Out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Watching the terrifying growth of Planck's strength after obtaining Hellfire, everyone couldn't help but feel sour. Sure G. Answer a question, did TND become the four emperors? Pagliasolino. It's really scary. Nose Song, Brook, A.B. Oh roar, this Planck son, like me, has turned into a skeleton. Blackfoot, Vinsmock Sanji, C. Isn't that to say, his JJ was also burned down together? Without JJ, what's the use of such powerful power? Cemetery, Abu Saram, C. Yes, JJ is a symbol of men. Without JJ, it would become a human demon. What's wrong with the human demon? Did the human demon eat your rice? Planck, two little brats, you're having a blind comparison. Believe it or not, I want you to become eunuchs directly. Planck. Hell's fire didn't burn down my JJ, but instead strengthened my abilities in that area. If this thing accidentally burns up a person's JJ, I think even a man wouldn't need his abilities. Rocks. If this thing really takes my strength to the next level and helps me become the king of the world, then those 2 liang of meat will be gone. It's been a long time. Planck. Bully. Newgate. Bully. Sure G. Bully. Kai Duo. Bully. Rox's groundless speech sparked a group of big shots vying to praise him. Agricultural god of war, Shepherd X St. Peter, SSR. Mr. Planck, I'm not sure if you're interested in our world government. As long as you join our world government, the official positions of the world government are up to you. Planck. If I choose official positions at will, how about I become the 5 old stars? Can you also agree? Financial Valkyrie, Izanbelin v. Nashowling Saint. Being reckless, inviting you to join the world government is to look up to you, don't take any further steps. Planck. Cut, can't afford to open the condition, where are you hitting big cloves of garlic, garbage? Planck uploaded a photo. Everyone opened it and saw a selfie of Planck making a contemptuous gesture. Rocks. Garbage. Rocks uploaded a photo of a move. Shiki. Garbage. Shiji uploaded a photo of a move. In an instant, all the pirates sparked a wave of mockery against the world government and the 5 old stars. These bastards, and this Planck, Nassoran saint, bald 5 stars, gritted his teeth in anger as he watched the rolling news. I said, what are you mocking the other person for when you have nothing to do? Pit saint, golden-haired 5 stars, said with some dissatisfaction. Are we just watching like this? Asked the god of justice and martial arts, Topman Watchely saint, the 5 old stars with a curved blade and 8 beards, coldly. Otherwise, we won't even be able to touch that damn sky curtain, said Marcus Maz saint, the bearded 5 old stars, the environmental martial god. What a tumultuous time. Is what is said on the sky really true? Said the god of scientific defense, Jagalushia Satan saint, the 5 old stars with curly hair. Who knows, everything we say is about the future, and we cannot judge it, said the holy Vacheli. It should be true, after all, the power used by Planck doesn't seem like a demonic fruit, said Saint Mays. What should we do now? Just sit like this. Nazhaolingsheng said, holding the samurai sword. Let CPO first search for Planck's whereabouts, preferably by capturing him alive, suggested Satan Saint. According to the above calculation, the opponent has a 4th Emperor-level combat power, and CP0 is not enough to see, suggested the Saint of Pit. So we're just CP0 people looking for that guy, it's really not possible. I'll go there then, said Nashu Langsheng. That's all I can do. The Saint Vacheli could only nod and agree. Planck naturally didn't know that he was being targeted by the 5 old stars. Even if he knew, he didn't mind, because with the help of the previous harvest, Li had already gained a group of advanced combat forces under his hands. Character cards. Forensic Madman, Graves, SS, Bloodport Ghost, Parker, SS, Deep Sea Titan, Nautilus, SSS, and Night King, Altoria Pandragon, SSR. The 4 lowest naval lieutenants and the highest 4th Emperor's combat power directly drained all of Li's emotional fluctuations. Character card. Extraordinary Madman, Graves, SS, Effect. It can directly embody the peak period of the Extraordinary Madman, Graves, with a loyalty of 100%. The strength of the Extraordinary Madman, Graves is that of an elite general. At the same time, all abilities of the Outlaw Madman, Grafus will be synchronized after manifestation, and the characters revealed can continue to grow through cultivation. Skills. New Destiny, End of Destiny, Smoke Bomb, Quick Pull, Ultimate Bomb. Introduction. Legendary heroes from League of Legends World, Valoran Continent, and Bilgewater. Malcolm Graves was a famous mercenary, gambler, and thief, and every city or empire he visited was wanted and offered a bounty for his head. Although he has a hot temper, he values the loyalty of the underworld, and his double-barreled shotgun, Fate, is often used to correct disloyalty. A few years ago, he and his old partner Trieste Fit cleared up their past grievances, and now they are once again at ease in the underground underworld dispute at Bilgewater. Explanation. We only seek wealth and do not harm our lives. Be honest, you don't have to be a hero. Character card. Bloodport Ghost Shadow, Parker, SS, Effect. It can directly embody the peak period of the Bloodport Ghost Shadow, Parker, with a loyalty of 100%. The strength of the Bloodport Ghost Shadow, Parker is that of an elite general. At the same time, all abilities of Bloodport Ghost Shadow, Parker will be synchronized after manifestation, and the characters that appear can continue to grow through cultivation. Skills. The Luck of Drowning, Thorough Bone Nail, Stealing in the Deep Pond, Shadow Wave Migration, and Fountain Hate. Introduction. Legendary heroes from League of Legends World, Valoran Continent, and Bilgewater. At the Slaughterhouse Pier in Bilgewater, the famous harpooner Parker was buried in the belly of a huge herring. However, he returned. He wandered through the shady streets and alleys of his hometown, cruelly using supernatural means to deal with the villains of others. A city proud of hunting monsters now finds itself a target of hunting. Explanation. The seabed has prepared a place for everyone. Character card. Deep Sea Titan Nautilus, SSS, effect. It can directly embody the peak period of the Deep Sea Titan Nautilus, with a loyalty of 100%. The strength of the Deep Sea Titan Nautilus is a naval general candidate. At the same time, all abilities of the Deep Sea Titan Nautilus will be synchronized after manifestation, and the characters that appear can continue to grow through cultivation. Skills. Overwhelming mountains and seas, clearing waterways, Titan's fury, surging undercurrents, and deep sea impact. Introduction. Legendary heroes from League of Legends World, Valoran Continent, and Bilgewater. As early as when the first pier was erected in Bilgewater, there was a legend of loneliness. The giant Nautilus, dressed in armor, lingers in the dark waters near Blue Flame Island. He harbored an unforgivable betrayal in his heart and acted without warning. He shakes the huge anchor of the ship, saves the poor creatures in distress, or drags greedy people into the end. It is said that the person who did not pay the Burgetworth tax is his target. He will sink into the waves with them and himself. A solid reminder that no one can escape the sanctions of the deep sea. Explanation. When engulfed by boundless darkness, there is no other way but to move forward. Character card. Night King Altoria Pendragon, SR, effect. It can directly embody the peak period of the Night King Altoria Pendragon, with a loyalty of 100%. The strength of the Night King Altoria Pendragon is at the level of a general. At the same time, all abilities of Night King Altoria Pendragon will be synchronized after manifestation, and the characters that appear can continue to grow through cultivation. Skills. Magic, writing, intuition, magic release, leadership style, swords of oath to victory, Wind King barrier, distant ideal hometown. Introduction. From the world of fate, Altoria Pendragon was a legendary king in ancient Britain, also known as King Arthur. Known as a knight or night king among knights. After pulling out the sword of the chosen king from the rock, he disguised himself as his gender and lived as the ideal King Arthur. But due to internal turmoil, her homeland was abandoned, and she firmly believed that she was not suitable to be a king. She hoped to re-select a king through the Holy Grail for the sake of her country. During the 4th and 5th Holy Grail Wars, he was summoned to participate in the Holy Grail War as a saber. Explanation. Excalibur. Chapter 6. Setting Sail, Setting Sail. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kai Duo. I still can't believe that I was killed by someone in the future. Rocks, hahaha, I really look forward to you traitors going to hell to accompany me. Roger. Shanks, how miserable you are. Shanks. Captain. To be honest, even if Shanks had a big heart, his face still looked a bit ugly when he saw himself and his pirate team all die tragically in the future. Carp. The 4 emperors have all changed, and it is estimated that our navy will also undergo significant changes. Mr. Kazan Cap, it was already a spoilage just now. Our navy lost in the future war, Sakaski. Don't let me know who caused it, otherwise I will definitely let you taste the taste of magma. Planck. Stupid thing, even if you're a naval general, can your navy deal with 2 or more 4th Imperial regiments at the same time? Sakaski. Bastard. Planck. Fool, according to the spoilers of the Sky Curtain, if the future is really commanded by those 5 old men, then your navy will at least face 2 4th Imperial regiments at the same time. Even if your navy is powerful, facing 2 4th Imperial regiments at the same time now would be a dead end, wouldn't it? As soon as this statement was made, the people on the navy side immediately stopped speaking. Having watched the naval defeat, I didn't think much about why the 5 old stars were in command. At that time, the Navy was probably unable to withstand the enemy it faced, so 5 old stars personally stepped down. At the thought of this, the face of the Warring States period once again became very gloomy. Sure gee. Chia ha ha ha, kid. I have a crush on your brain. Do you want to unite with me and turn this world upside down? Planck. No need, the reason why I'm staying on this deserted island is that I can't quite grasp my strength. Since the 4th Emperor is just like that, then in the future, the 4th Emperor of the New World must have a place for me. Faced with Planck's undisguised ambition, whether it was the Navy or the pirates, his face suddenly changed drastically. Nesoro Saint. In the Warring States period, a wanted order was immediately issued to apprehend ocean disaster, Planck, with a bounty of 2 billion belly. Planck. Whatever you want, I've already prepared my boat. I was planning to wait a little longer, but since that's the case, young people, set sail. Extra-legal madman, Graves, SS. Yes, Captain. Blood Port Ghost, Parker, SS. Yes, Captain. Deep Sea Titan, Nautilus, SSS. Yes, Captain. Planck. Let me tell you again, I'm in the North Sea now. If I'm brave enough, come and chase me. Upon hearing Planck's words, the face of the Warring States period once again became very gloomy. Initially, I thought Planck was just a lonely family, but who would have thought that the other party had a reserve general and 2 elite generals as subordinates? Sakaski. Damn pirate, one day I will bury you at sea. Graves. Who wouldn't brag? We're in the North Sea right now. If you're brave, come on. Sakaski. Marshal, let me go. Warring States. Sakaski, please calm down for me. Didn't you see that the other party intentionally provoked you? Although I did not believe that Planck truly had the power of a 4th emperor, for safety reasons, the Warring States still refused Sakaski's request to fight. Warring States period. Palyasolino, I remember you were on vacation in the North Sea. You were tired and went on a trip. Palyasolino. Marshal of the Warring States period, you really know how to command people. All staff are prohibited from speaking. Spoiler video continues, beginning the growth experience of one of the new 4 emperors in the future. Now enter the introduction of this spoilers. His cunning and ruthless nature are his best synonyms. Some people call him the butcher of the new world, while others respectfully refer to him as the king of Bilgewater. He is the ocean disaster, Planck. At the end of the video, Planck's bounty was directly displayed. Ocean disaster, Planck, extremely dangerous, regardless of life or death, bounty. 4.55 billion belly. The photo shows Planck with a machete and a musket, and behind him is a sea covered with the remains of naval warships. The ban is over, Planck. Ha ha ha, I guess you're right. The future new 4th emperor must have a place for me. Newgate. Golala, you are such a brave little ghost, but I don't know which 4th emperor you will bring down from the throne in the future. Planck. Don't worry, it's not you anyway. Ace. Bold, how dare you be rude to your father? Planck. Little devil, go play with the mud peacefully. Adults talk, what do you want a child to say? Ace. You. Marco, enough, Ace, we don't need to be at odds with a 4th emperor. The Skyscreen reappeared, and then everyone saw a huge super warship sailing through the wind and waves. The entire body of the warship was covered in a metallic luster, with 2 large caliber cannons displayed on each side. On the video, there is also a dedicated text introduction. The Abyss, the vehicle of Planck, is made entirely of rune steel, which is even rarer than the precious tree atom, and can easily withstand artillery fire. As the video kept getting closer, Planck's entire body also appeared in the picture. Sitting diagonally on a stone throne, holding a musket in his left hand and a machete in his right hand, his face was wild and unrestrained. Around him, many sailors were busy with their own affairs. The man with the world's #1 brain, Vegapunk, B. Rune Steel, what is this? I've never heard of it before. Planck. The heirloom left by my ancestors was snatched from my father's hands after he died. Vegapunk. Can you sell me some for research? I can offer a big price. Planck. I want to eat shit, I don't even have enough of this myself. Vegapunk. You're such a stingy person. The video continues, and Planck, sitting on the stone throne, is talking to his first mate. The conversation between the two is unknown, with only subtitles providing commentary. The first time Planck became famous was because he directly massacred Navy Branch 74 in the North Sea. After a massacre, only 12 out of 10 Navy branches were left. His first bounty was only a meager 50 million belly. No one expected that a young boy would become the fourth emperor of the New World in the future. The reason why Planck did this is also ironic. He originally intended to purchase a record pointer on Fuan Island in the North Sea and then leave the North Sea directly to enter the Great Voyage. However, this transaction was interrupted by the cadre of Jelma 66 because he wanted to take everything. He thought Planck was just a newcomer who had just gone out to sea, but this time he kicked directly onto the steel plate. Although Planck successfully killed the cadres of Jelma 66, his record pointer was damaged due to the impact of the battle. For this reason, Jelma 66 was blacklisted by the Bilgewater pirates in the future and was pursued by Planck. Afterwards, when Planck learned that Navy Branch 74 had a record pointer, he was ready to directly go and grab it. To ensure foolproof, Planck also subdued some pirates in the North Sea and formed a sizable pirate fleet. Originally, Planck thought it would be a tough battle, but he couldn't help but fall into contemplation as he looked at the easily crumbling 74th Naval Branch in front of him. And when he led his men into Navy Branch 74, looking at the dilapidated defenses, rusty weapons, and the magnificent decorated Navy office inside the branch, he suddenly understood everything. As the subtitles were explained, the video also played along with some of Planck's actions in the North Sea. Firstly, the transaction was interrupted by Jelmer 66, and Planck fired a backhand and sent the opponent directly to the west. However, the recording pointer directly turned into scrap. Although the record pointer merchant explicitly stated that a second batch of record pointers would arrive in a month, Planck refused directly and returned to the abyss with his men. Planck, who returned to the ship, got angry but to no avail. Jelma 66, don't let me encounter you again, otherwise I will engrave my name on the skulls of all of them, said Planck. Gritted his teeth. Boss, what should we do now? The first mate of the abyss asked. I heard there is a record pointer in the Navy branch, said Planck, with a grimace on his face. But boss, just us are not enough people to fill our teeth. The first mate's expression was somewhat helpless. Who said it's just us people? Planck laughed wickedly. In the following week, Planck directly subdued more than 20 pirate groups, formed a pirate fleet, and then marched towards Navy Branch 74 in a grand manner. Chapter 7. Planck's Black History. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Rocks. By a record pointer. What do you think? If you see something, just go up and grab it. Sure gee. That's it, just like a girl, grinding and chattering. Planck. I probably didn't want to be eye-catching at that time, otherwise, how could I obediently pay for that record pointer? It's not a good thing to become famous too early. However, it seems that my guy has failed. Germa 66, I remember you all. Newgate. I don't understand why you want to hide yourself. Planck. Of course we're going to climb to the top step by step. It's much more interesting to climb to the top of the fourth emperor as an unknown person than to climb up step by step. It's really a pity. I've been hiding for many years, but I ended up being messed up by the miscellaneous members of Germa 66. Rocks. I understand attacking the Navy branch, but why do you need to build a fleet first? According to your strength, no one can stop you by pushing directly to that Navy branch. Planck. I used to stay on this deserted island where birds don't poop. It's only now that I realize I'm already the group standing at the top of the sea. If I don't understand my opponent's strength anymore, I'll just go out recklessly. Aren't you seeking your own death? After listening to Planck's explanation, both the Navy and the pirates have a clear understanding of Planck, who is cunning, brave, and scheming. Monster Bird Vince Mock Gage, SS. Mr. Planck, this is a misunderstanding, and I am willing to compensate for it. Although Gotzi held a skeptical attitude towards whether Planck possessed the rank of fourth emperor, offending a fourth emperor for such inexplicable reasons was not cost-effective. Planck. Hee, it's too late. Since you're on my blacklist in the future, we'll all be enemies sooner or later. I didn't know who the boss of Jelma 66 was, but I didn't expect you to come knocking on your door yourself. Hey, everyone, be careful. If anyone can come over with Gotzi's head, I'll give him a reward, which can be treasure or devil's fruit. Upon hearing Planck's words, Garrison, who was sitting on the snail battleship, had a pale complexion. Stealing a chicken would not erode rice, and he was referring to the current garrison. In the sky, the video continues. With over 20 pirate regiments incorporated, Planck formed a sizable fleet and directly surrounded Navy Branch 74 with his men. Faced with Planck's attack, the soldiers of the 74th Naval Branch suddenly became panicked and could only keep ringing the alarm bell. The scene turns to the interior of the Naval Branch, where a fat, pig-like rear admiral is anxiously wearing clothes and running towards the outside. The sky curtain was thoughtfully explained. Navy Branch Chief No. 74, Rear Admiral Wart Pig, Zybier, B, is an animal-type pig with fruit, common breed, and wart pig morphological ability. Shibei rushed out of the office hall and couldn't help but curse loudly as he watched the approaching pirate fleet. Damn sea garbage, damn bugs. The fat on Siebel's face trembled uncontrollably with anger. After cursing, Siebel roared again, shoot, shoot, shoot me. However, a very dramatic scene occurred. The cannons in Naval Branch 74 have become rusty due to improper maintenance. The naval soldiers loaded the shells and fired directly, either the cannons failed to fire or they simply detonated themselves, performing a live performance called self-destructive 800. The performance of Navy Branch 74 was very lackluster, but Planck showed no mercy and directly ordered full firepower. Bang! 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 With the first firing of the abyss, countless shells blocked the sky and swept towards the 74th Naval Branch in the next moment. After 3 rounds of bombing, Planck led the charge into the Naval Branch. The imagined stubborn resistance did not occur at all, and the branch was filled with remnants of the Navy. Rocks. Waha, is this what a naval branch looks like? It really broadens my horizons. Kai Duo. The treatment of the Navy is not very good either. It's better to come to me. At least the cannons and shells are guaranteed not to explode or cannot be fired. Sure G. Jiahaha, the Navy has really shown me a lot. The very obvious corruption within the Navy directly made the pirates happy. How could they let go of the opportunity to mock the Navy in person? Warring States period. Shibei, is this what you have been reporting to me about the no war in the West Sea? Wart Pig, Shibei, B. Ah, Marshal of the Warring States period, I was wrong. Sakaski. It's better for you to spit out the embezzled military funds for me now, otherwise you'll be waiting to go to military court. Siebel. Yes, General Red Dog, I will do it immediately. I will do it immediately. An Li couldn't help but laugh as he looked at the tens of thousands of emotional fluctuation points that Siebel had provided him. There was a system in place. Looking for a few highly corrupt naval branch chiefs, wouldn't that be enough? The video continues. Planck strolled around Naval Branch 74 and found Siebel, who was seriously injured and on the brink of death. The opponent wanted to make a final desperate move, but was easily pierced by Planck's machete. Watching Siebel die so easily in his direct hands, Planck couldn't believe it. This TND is too bad, so I put in a lot of effort to build a large fleet, isn't it for nothing? Planck couldn't help but mutter to himself as he pulled out his machete. Roger. Ahaha, Planck, I think you're a bit too cautious when I say that. Planck. Black history, this TMD is definitely Lousy's black history. Newgate. Gullah, I've been in the countryside for too long, and although I'm super strong, I ended up being a bit too cautious. Planck. NND, I'll go to that naval branch now to grab the record pointer. Siebel. Ah, Marshal of the Warring States period, request reinforcements, request reinforcements. Sikorsky. Something embarrassing, shut up for me. Warring States period. Pagliasolino, thank you for your hard work. Remember, act according to the situation. Pagliasolino. Hi, Marshal of the Warring States period, you really know how to command people. With a target in mind, Pagliasolino turned the direction again and sprinted towards Naval Branch 74. He naturally understood the meaning of the Warring States period, intercepting Planck was false, and testing Planck was true. The video continues. After taking down Siebel, plundering the treasure, and obtaining the record pointer of his own thoughts, Planck immediately set fire to Navy Branch 74 and hurriedly left with his men. The video screen switches and becomes a dialogue between the Warring States period and Kapu. In the video, after a heated argument, the two finally set the bounty for Planck at 50 million Bailey. At the same time, Navy Rear Admiral Whirlwind Blade Steels was dispatched to pursue Planck. The video switches again and directly turns into a sea encounter between Planck and Streers. Styles was the first to use a flying slash to attack Planck, which was successfully blocked by Planck's curved blade. When Planck fired a bullet wrapped in a domineering aura and successfully hit Styles, he lay on the board of the warship. Because he successfully killed Styles, Planck didn't stay any longer and ran away with his people. And with the treatment of naval doctors, Styles successfully regained a small life. Planck. NND, why is it all about Lousy's dark history? Rocks. What are you running for? Shoot TND directly without sinking the enemy's warship. Do you mean to call yourself a pirate? Graves. Boss, you're a bit too cautious, aren't you? Swirlwind Blade Steels, S. So I just went offline so easily. Kai Duo. Are you brainless during the Warring States period or did you intentionally send someone to die? Shanks. I guess even during the Warring States period, a young and inexperienced boy had the power of a fourth emperor. Shiki. Wait, I'm a bit confused. Is it that the combat power of the fourth emperor level of the Planck was only obtained after receiving rewards, or is it that he already has the potential for fourth emperor level combat power? Ding. Planck already had the potential of a fourth emperor level in the original future. In the original future, Planck decided to go to sea only after mastering the armed color entanglement. When he was fighting against another fourth emperor, he successfully mastered the domineering aura, which led to the removal of the other fourth emperor. Chapter 8. Shampoo Wars. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sure G. Sigh, then according to this, when Planck becomes the fourth emperor, his strength will surpass that of the fourth emperor. Planck. It's not that exaggerated. Hellfire just gave me an extra demonic fruit without any side effects. Look at whose fourth emperor became a super fourth emperor because he ate an extra demonic fruit. Newgate. I guess so, otherwise Planck would have become the second Rocks. Graves. I said your group of opportunities won't unite against my boss, will they? Kai Duo. Wurororo, you must have underestimated our fourth emperor. Although you are a bit unhappy with having an additional emperor in the new world, we are not capable of doing such a tasteless thing. Lingling. Mama, Kaido is right. Although he is unhappy, he is not lacking in quality. I hope you can live to reach a new world. Planck. Don't worry, I won't make you wait too long. The video continues. After being seriously injured, news spread to the Navy headquarters, and the warring states fired again. I thought the other party was just a little kid, but who knew they were actually a big crocodile. Warring states, what are you going to do? He sat across from the warring states and asked. It's not easy to easily inflict serious injuries on Styles. Raise his bounty to 150 million yuan, and then let Zhu pursue him. After taking a deep breath in the warring states period, he rubbed his temples and spoke up. Is it just a garden? It's also good. The crane nodded and agreed. Peach Rabbit Garden, SSS. Sister Mr. Warring States, are you looking up to me too much? Warring States period. Only the garden, it's because I didn't consider it carefully enough. Crane. In the future, we never expected that the opponent would have a 4th Emperor-level combat power. Sakaski. Polyasolino, where have you been? Polyasolino. I have now arrived at Naval Branch 74. Planck. Wait for me half a day, I will arrive at Naval Branch 74 in half a day. Then I will show you whether I am bragging or not. Video screen switching, this time playing the battle between Planck and Mokugahara. The two of them met on a small island, and without much ado, they started to move their hands. Mingdao Jinpiluo and Planck's curved swords collided, causing the garden to be thrown out directly. A bullet wrapped in an armed and domineering aura was fired, and was easily dodged by Zhu, but it left a significant hole in Zhu's previous position. After a brief exploration of more than 10 moves, Planck successfully assessed the strength of Zhu and began to suppress Zhu's attacks. There were not too many moves, and the curved swords and firearms entwined with armed and domineering colors crushed the opponent to death, leaving no chance for a counterattack. Decline is only a matter of time. Both sides entangled for another 110 rounds, and in the end, only Yuan was successfully captured alive by Planck. Without too much nonsense, Planck directly used the sea tower stone chain to tie a fancy knot to the garden. The navy brought by Zhu rushed forward to save people when Zhu was caught, but was annihilated by Planck. Go back and tell your head, if you want to save this girl, prepare 2 billion baileys, and we'll exchange them in the Shampoo Islands. After leaving a sentence for the remaining navy, Planck swaggered away with a garden. Zhu. I'm sorry, Mr. Warring States, I've caused you trouble. Crane. It has nothing to do with you now. You haven't been captured alive yet. Warring States period. It was not only my mistake, but also my responsibility as a marshal, which was due to my poor consideration. Kapu. Alright, the garden hasn't happened yet. Don't blame yourself. The repeated comforts from the navy helped to alleviate Zhu's depressed mood. In front of everyone, he was directly captured alive, which made Zhu very depressed. The video screen switches, and a mirror image of the Shambhodri Islands appears directly on the screen. In order to rescue Zhu, the warring states dispatched Kazan, who was still at the headquarters of the navy, to be stationed in advance in the Shampoo Islands. At the same time, the warring states also arranged for Kapu to lead 5 elite lieutenants and 10 warships to the Shambhodri Islands for support. To everyone's surprise, Planck did not directly seek ransom from the navy, but instead gave the navy 3 days to exchange hostages. And he himself wandered around the island with his subordinates. Originally, Kazan intended to secretly rescue the garden, but Planck always carried the garden with him wherever he went, which gave Kazan no chance at all. 3 days passed quickly, and it was only then that Planck and Kazan engaged in a hostage exchange. As soon as the exchange was completed, Kazan mercilessly launched an attack on Planck. Ice cubes. 2 spears. 2 ice spears appeared out of nowhere and then shot directly at Planck. Bang! Planck was also polite and directly retaliated by giving Kazan a bullet wrapped in an armed and domineering color. The bullet easily shattered the ice spear released by Kazan, and then flew towards Kazan without decreasing its momentum. Ice cubes. Fierce pheasant beak. Kazan saw this, and an ice bird appeared directly on his right arm. With Kazan's sprint, everything he went was frozen. Planck sneered and raised his machete in his hand, without hesitation, slashing towards Kazan. Without much nonsense, Planck engaged in a direct confrontation with Kazan. Shiki. I said, Planck, did you just release the hostages like that, kid? Planck. Just a backup general, let go once you let go, just grab it back when you have time. Kai Duo. You're talking about being light and agile. Anyway, he's also a reserve general. It doesn't take a bit of effort, he might catch it head-on. Roger. A reserve general is worth 2 billion Baileys, so the Navy is a bit too cheap, isn't it? Beckman. I always feel like he's holding back his big moves, or maybe he deliberately let go of that general's backup. Planck. That's right. At that time, I probably wanted to compete with the generals and try my weight. Didn't your Navy compare the 3 generals to the 4 emperors? If I could successfully defeat one naval general, then I would have full confidence in facing the 4 emperors. Shanks. It's really a crazy idea, but have you ever thought about how you can escape once you fail? Planck. Watch carefully, things should not be so simple. I understand myself, and I should have a hidden plan for the future. In the video, after becoming familiar with the ability to play Kazan, Planck slowly gained the upper hand again. The confrontation between the two showcased to everyone in the world of the Sea King the power of destroying the heavens and earth, what is called top-notch combat power and what is called monsters. After 110 rounds of confrontation between the two, Kazan was careless and dodged Planck's bullets, but did not dodge Planck's machete. The curved knife aimed at Kazan's neck and slashed directly at him. Iron Fist of Love. In a critical moment, Cap, hiding in the dark, made a move. A sandbag-sized iron fist wrapped around a black-armed aura, mercilessly smashed towards Planck. Faced with this fierce punch, Planck could only dodge. Boom boom. Cap punched the ground, leaving a large hole tens of meters deep. With Cap's appearance, 5 elite naval generals and thousands of elite navies surrounded Planck in secret. Is the naval hero Cap? Interesting, really interesting. Looking at the imposing Cap, Planck grinned strangely. After speaking, Planck rushed straight towards Cap and said, "Let me see what naval heroes really have." Dong! The collision between the curved sword and the iron fist tore open the sky. The others were just about to help, but were forced back by Planck's domineering aura. And some unqualified naval soldiers were knocked unconscious on the spot. Overlord and domineering. Cap's face suddenly became somewhat solemn. "Ha ha ha, little trick, I wonder if it can catch your old man's eye." Planck chuckled and launched another attack on Cap. "Sure gee. It seems that a naval general can't satisfy you. He even brought out that old thing named Kapu." Planck. After all, I have to face the 4 emperors, not the individual 4 emperors. Rocks. Why didn't you see your subordinates in those battles? They wouldn't have all betrayed you, would they? Chapter 9. Take a shower in the shell. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The video continues. Bang. A bullet wrapped around an armed color that was domineering hit Kapu's face. Although Kapu used the armed color hardening in time, he was still beaten to death. Armed colors released. Cap didn't hesitate to see the blood on his forehead, but instead stared at Planck, somewhat incredulous. "Oh, so this is called armed color release. Thank you for your explanation." "Ha ha ha," Planck said as he launched another attack on Kapu. Shiki. "Nonsense, I remember Tianmu just said that in the future, Planck learned how to use armed colors to entangle before going out to sea. It wasn't long before he learned how to use armed colors to release. Planck. What's so strange about this? With the improvement of strength and familiarity with the principle of tricolor dominance, one can almost master it. Kai Duo. To put it simply, I used to master the use of armed colors, but it took me a lot of time. Lingling, how long did you use it? Lingling. I don't remember very clearly, it's probably 2 years. Newgate. Golala, not only is it armed and domineering, but the opponent's domineering display just now should not be underestimated. Planck. Of course, I am the disaster of the ocean, Planck, the future king of the ocean. Ace. Even if you are powerful, you cannot surpass Dad. Dad is the future pirate king. Planck. One Piece king, that kind of cutthroat thing is rare. What I want to do is the true king of the sea. Graves. That's right, the new One Piece is the one you found. That's just the rules you've set for yourself. We don't like this kind of cutthroat game. Roger. Hey, that's a bit excessive. What does it mean to be a household thing? Rocks. Isn't that right? The true pirate king is the one who makes all the pirates on the sea submit. Roger, you can at most be considered the adventure king. Silver battle axe, silver axe, SSS. Boss Rocks is right, Roger, you can at most be considered the adventure king, Captain John, SSS. Hahaha, Roger, you have directly become the adventure king. Beehive King G, SSSSS. Adventure King, Roger. Newgate. Silver Axe, John, you have also come out. John. I've been sleeping in the underworld all along, just woke up. Silver Axe. Me too. Rocks. Silver Axe, John, it turns out to be you two trash. Roger. You bastards, I am clearly the pirate king. Sure G. Yeah hahaha, Roger didn't expect you to have today too. Planck. If we find that Raftru is the One Piece king, then why are we fighting or grabbing territory? Let's go directly to search for members of Roger's pirates. I believe they are willing to take us to Raftru. Kai Duo. This is really a crazy idea. Graves. Only the first One Piece is a legend, the second, what is that? The Straw Hat, Munch D, Luffy, C. The One Piece is not a thing, he is the freest person in the world. Planck. That's why I said, Roger's One Piece is just a game of children playing house by house. Planck's words directly silenced most people in the world of the Sea King. Although he wanted to refute them, he didn't know what to say. The video continues. After Planck showed off his armed colors, Cap's expression immediately became very serious. He knew that if he didn't use his ability to suppress the bottom of the box, he wouldn't be able to win Planck at all. Kuzan and the 5 elite generals on the side were also in a hurry. The aftermath of the confrontation between Cap and Planck made it impossible for them to enter, and they could only serve as assistants in the distance, constantly harassing. Fist bone impact. As Cap leaped high and punched, the small archipelago where Planck and Cap were at war disappeared by a third. He is truly a naval hero, so try my trick too. Planck said as he fired more than 10 bullets at Cap. Subsequently, the whole person turned into a remnant and charged towards Kapu. Pushi. The curved knife left a blood-splattered wound directly on Cap's chest. If it weren't for Cap's early use of armor color hardening, Planck's move would probably have torn a piece of flesh directly from Cap's chest. Hiss, where exactly are you from, little ghost? Normally, you have such power, shouldn't you be from an unknown place? Cap gritted his teeth in pain and couldn't help but ask. If you want to know, I won't tell you. Planck chuckled and launched another attack on Cap. You bastard, how did you gather intelligence during the Warring States period? Cap couldn't help but curse at Planck, who was rushing towards him again. Moonlight, Moria, A. Is this the strength of the naval hero Cap? Desert King, Shah Croctor, A. After all, this was the one who chased the pirate king back then. It is only natural for him to have a 4th Emperor level combat power. Eagle Eye, Jornical Mihawk, Sr. Unfortunately, Mr. Cap is not a swordsman, otherwise I would definitely come to seek advice. Moria. Why is Hawkeye an SR? Does he have combat power comparable to that of a general? Clockdale. After all, the opponent is the world's largest swordsman and the target pursued by countless swordsmen. Shanks. Hawkeye is very powerful. If it's just a swordsmanship competition, I'm not his match. Mihawk. Unfortunately, you lost one of your arms. Pirate Hunter, Roranoa Sauron, B. What exactly is that domineering thing you've been talking about? Captain Eustace Kidd, B. Same curiosity. Death Surgeon, Trafalgar D. Vadier Row, B. Do you have a big shot to explain? Unfortunately, even future supernovae have no right to intervene in this high-end situation. The video continues. Mr. Qingji, we have found Planck's ship. Just as Planck and Cap were engaged in a fierce battle, a naval soldier hurriedly ran over and gasped for breath as he spoke. Great, let's go and destroy each other's ships first, so Planck won't be able to reach the New World, said an elite general with 8 knives. Elite Rear Admiral of the Navy Headquarters, 8-blade flow, Ghost Spider, SS, a skilled swordsman skilled in the 8-blade flow. But the other party's ship has already completed the coating and is now starting to dive. We want to stop it, but unfortunately it's not their opponent, the naval soldier gasped for breath. Damn it, we've been fooled, another elite general with many scars on his face couldn't help but curse loudly. Elite Rear Admiral of the Navy Headquarters, Dogo Doberman, SS, a master of swordsmanship and physical arts. At the same time, a signal flare also rose from a distance, attracting everyone's attention. Ha ha ha, it seems that my subordinates have succeeded. Looking at the signal flare rising in the distance, Planck couldn't help but burst out laughing. Bastard, you intentionally brought us all over, Cap couldn't help but curse. How could my boat be coated without attracting your attention to me? Planck smiled and said. Are you too confident in your own strength? Kazan surrounded with 5 elite generals, placing Planck in the middle. The reality is that Laozi's plan was successful, wasn't it? Planck grinned strangely. I want to see how you can escape the heavens, said the Ghost Spider's 8 knives, ready to strike, staring coldly at Planck. Do you want to continue fighting? Let's wait for the next time. As for you, just take a shower in the shell, said Planck, opening it wide. Death bombing. As Planck opened the cannon curtain, a barrage of shrapnel engulfed the island where Planck and Cap engaged in battle. The small island, which was already heavily damaged, suddenly became fragmented and began to collapse and sink under the bombardment of artillery barrage. Come on, let me take a look. Do you choose to continue to be enemies with me or go save those little soldiers first, said Planck coldly as he looked at Cap amidst the raging artillery fire. Bastard. As he watched the Navy soldiers sinking into the sea with the island, Cap's forehead was bulging with veins, and he couldn't help but curse. Soldiers never tire of deceit, said Planck, rushing towards the distant sea. Save people first. Cap gritted his teeth as he ignored Planck's escape. The Navy was unable to do so, and Kazan directly used the Ice Age to freeze the sea, while Kapu led the elite generals to defend the Navy soldiers against shells falling from mid-air. Chapter 10. Which 4 emperors was Planck's goal? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Rocks. WC, this kid is tough enough. Sakaski. Bastard Kazan, why don't you come up and help? Kazan. Sakaski, you also saw that scene. It's useless for me to go up there. Palyasalino. It's really scary to directly flatten a small island, sure G. Jia ha ha ha, I really like you more and more. Let me ask you again, do you want to stir up this world with me? Kai Duo. Shiki, you're thinking nonsense. The other person is someone who can play as close as Cap, even though this hasn't been proven yet. With your disabled half-foot in the coffin. Lingling. Mama, Kaido is right. Hey, Planck, are you going to have a child with me? Planck. Get lost. John. Hey, Lingling is still a beautiful woman no matter what. What's your attitude? Graves. Great beauty. I didn't expect your XP to be so unconventional, and an 800-pound sow is also a great beauty. Grafus uploaded a photo, John. My eyes, my eyes. Silver Axe. Lingling, what's wrong with you? Wang Ji. After leaving the Rocks Pirates, Lingling has been living on the island and giving birth to more than 80 children, with a severely deformed figure. Graves. Time is a pig-killing knife, black fungus, purple grapes, and even soft bananas. Silver Axe. Profound, rocks. Sharp. Sure G. Insightful. Lingling. You bastards, Dessert 4 stars. Minister of Flour, Charlotte Katakuli, SSS. No, mom's anorexic, go get the dessert quickly. Kai Duo. This crazy woman. All staff are prohibited from speaking, question. Which fourth emperor will be removed from the throne by the New World's Planck? Prohibition lifted. 10-minute time limit, start answering. Rocks. I'm afraid only I know about this question. Graves. I answer, Charlotte Lingling. Planck. I answer, Charlotte Lingling. Nautilus. I answer, Charlotte Lingling. Parker. I'll answer, Charlotte Lingling. John. WC, what is this operation? Did the little brother snatch the answer from the boss? Planck. Ha, you did a great job, Graves. Grace. Thank you very much, boss. Shiki. Wait, what are you guys up to? Planck, you're not angry. Planck. If this answer can make me have an additional 4th Emperor level subordinate, why should I be angry? Kai Duo. Hehe, are you not afraid that the other party will betray you when their wings become hard? Graves. Don't use your dirty thoughts to speculate about the bonds between us, you bastard. Warring States period. I answer, Kaido. Warring States period. All navies should hurry up and get an answer. Charlotte Lingling is just Planck's goal now, and his future goals are uncertain. Sakaski. I answer, White Beard. Only Garden. I answer, Red-haired Shanks. For a moment, all on the screen of light were the Navy's eager answers. Locks. What a cunning old dog. The matter has become a foregone conclusion, yet you still want to make a dying struggle. Sure G. Jia ha ha ha, Captain, haven't you seen the shamelessness of the Warring States period? Wang Ji. So, do we still need to answer the questions? Rocks. And answer a hammer. Other answers have also been snatched away by others. What else are we going to join in the fun? Kato. Wurororo, Captain, are you angry? Time is up, the quiz is over. The following video will reveal the correct answer for everyone. The video continues. In the Battle of the Champagne Islands, Planck made a name for himself in the New World. After all, in the eyes of the 4th Emperor, there were not many who could confront Cap head-on. Planck's bounty skyrocketed from 150 million to 1.55 billion belly. With the encouragement of the world government, Planck vaguely gained the title of the 5th seat emperor in the New World. Kai Duo. Is it the 5th emperor? It's really impressive. Shanks. To be honest, without witnessing Planck's strength firsthand, no one can believe that this guy really has a 4th Emperor level combat power. Newgate. Gullah, next, this kid is going to take action against the 4th Emperor, but he doesn't know that unlucky guy will become his target. Graves. Didn't we just say it all? Our goal is Charlotte Lingling. Sure gee. I can't say for sure, the future and the present are two different things. On the abyss, Graves and Planck exchanged a glance and couldn't help but laugh. Can we tell you that this is a script we have already written in advance? The video continues. After entering the New World, Planck still retained his good habits in the North Sea and began to constantly recruit troops and horses in the New World. In less than a week, Planck built a pirate fleet in the New World, consisting of hundreds of pirate ships and a force of tens of thousands of people, under his command. Just as Planck was about to challenge one of the 4 emperors, Bai Huzi, Charlotte Lingling sent him an invitation to a tea party. To show sincerity, Charlotte Lingling even sent out one of the 4 dessert stars, Charlotte Smoggy. In the video, a long-legged beauty who is 4 meters tall, 5 legs long, and 3 meters long, carrying a long sword, is handing an invitation letter to Planck. 4 dessert stars. Juice Minister, Charlotte Smoggy, SSS, is a superhero with the ability to squeeze fruits. Mr. Planck, Mom invites you to her tea party, said Smokey. Is Big Mom one of the 4 emperors? It's really my honor, Planck couldn't help but chuckle. After speaking, Planck's face changed and he spoke, go back and tell Big Mom. When I prepare some gifts, I will attend her tea party on time. Okay, Smokey said, then turned around and left. To be honest, Planck gave him the feeling of facing Big Mom. She couldn't say for sure whether inviting Planck to the tea party was good or bad. Although he had a heart to oppose it, no one could refute his mother's words. Newgate. Shouldn't I go and feel grateful for Xia Lingling? Sure gee. Jia ha, what is Lingling called? Is it inviting wolves into the house? Kai Duo. Lingling, this silly melon skin. Rocks. You're just as stupid as ever. Graves. It seems like you're so smart. Rocks. Damn it, you have the guts to say it again. Graves. Just a few more times, it's the same. You, Locks, are just a big idiot. Planck. Grafus is right. Even if you're a mindless bandit, you can get your hands lifted. You're not a fool. What are you? Rocks. I asterisk you at #%u and #. Detected someone using uncivilized language, banned for 10 minutes. Roger. Hahaha, now it's over, much cleaner. Silent King, Silbaz Raleigh, Sr. After all these years, Roger, you're still like a child. Roger. It's Raleigh, it's really a long time since you last met. Shanks. Mr. Raleigh, long time no see. I'll visit you when I have time. Raleigh. No need, old man. I only want to have a few days of peace now. The video continues. The screen switches, and this time it directly turns into Wangwa Tot land. On the island, countless flora and fauna are singing cheerful songs, clearly celebrating Charlotte Lingling. Hummets, Charlotte, and Lingling are anthropomorphic creatures created using soul fruits, whose abilities can endow animal and plant souls with behavioral abilities that can be possessed at the center of the world. Charlotte Lingling is conversing with 6 emperors in charge of trading in the underground dark world. As the characters switched, their respective introductions also appeared on the 6 individuals. Du Feld, the king of high-interest loans, in the monetary field, Entertainment Emperor, Happy Street Queen, Study, S, Killer Domain Emperor, Big Brand Burial Society, Dolag Picro, SS, Intelligence Emperor, Big News, Morgans, A, the Emperor of Warehousing and the Hidden Master, Kibson, S, Emperor of Transportation, Deep Current, Umit, S.